All right, here we are. We're back. It's been, I don't know how long it's been. It's been probably a month or two. It's been a little while. I haven't uploaded. Whenever Hulk Hogan died, that's the last time I uploaded. Um, yeah, uh, it's been rough. Um, I should have made this video probably 2 weeks ago, my full NFL preview. Instead, I'm making it the day before the fucking season starts. And that's because I've been working a lot and I fucking hate my life, but that's besides the point. That's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about the NFL because the NFL is back tomorrow. I should have probably talked about preseason too. I haven't talked about anything. I made, I think, one podcast about the NFL like a month, 2 months ago, and that's been it. Yeah, dropped the ball. But I'm here. I have notes. And I have predictions for this upcoming season. I have predictions on who's going to finish where in each division. I have award winner predictions. And obviously, I have a Super Bowl prediction. Who's going to make the playoffs, who's going to miss. And I have some interesting ones here. I really have some interesting ones here. And I know these are not all going to be right. These are probably going to all lot be wrong. I can tell you I can tell you right now, just looking at looking at the way I have this set up here in my notes, there's no way these are going to be all true. But this is how I have it. This is how I see the season going into it. September 3rd, 2025, 1:58 p.m. Pacific is when I'm recording this. Hopefully I can even fucking upload this today because my internet's not working. And I tried to get the fucking thing to fix. I tried to do a damn chat, and they fucking told me that a technician has to come out, and you know me, I don't want to fucking deal with that, so I'm just not. I'm gonna try and upload it using my fucking phone hotspot, but we'll see if that even works. So there's a possibility I'm gonna record this and it's gonna be a complete waste of time because nobody will ever see it because I don't have internet. And if I don't get this out today, there's pretty much no reason to have it out at all because then it would be post the season starting, and then I'd feel like I'm cheating. But I am recording this before the season starts, even if it's only about 24 hours before. So, all right, let's start with the AFC. AFC North. It should be pretty obvious to anybody who knows me, even a little bit, who I'm picking to win the AFC North. Obviously, it's the Ravens. Obviously, I'm riding with my Ravens. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Roquan Smith, Kyle Hamilton, the boys. The boys are back in town. I have the Ravens winning the division. I have the Bengals in second, Pittsburgh in third, and Cleveland in fourth. I think that's probably going to be a uniform prediction. I think the Steelers are worse this year than they were last year. I think going from Russell Wilson slash Justin Fields to Aaron Rodgers is a downgrade. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is any good anymore. I don't think he really cares about football anymore. And that's just kind of where it sits. I talked about that in one of my podcasts too. And the Bengals, I don't think are going to finish second because they're any good. I think they're going to finish second by default. I mean, the Browns are terrible. The Steelers are not good. The Bengals defense is atrocious. They did not do anything to get better this offseason. They just got more expensive. They paid Jamar and T. Higgins, and they extended Trey Hendrickson for 1 year. So they just brought back all the same guys, and they're all more expensive now. And they didn't add anything, and their defense was atrocious last year. The offense was about as good as you can ask for last year, and they won 9 games. So they didn't make the playoffs. I don't expect them to make the playoffs this year. I have the Ravens as the only team out of this division to make the playoffs, which is a rarity because this is usually a multi-team division. Um, I also have the Ravens as the number one seed in the AFC. Probably 13 and 4 or 14 and 3. The reason I think that is because I think that it's going to come down to Baltimore and Buffalo, and I think it's going to come down to whoever wins Sunday Night Football Week 1, and I think the Ravens are going to win that game. Speaking of Buffalo, the AFC East, the Bills are going to win the division, obviously. They're going to be in the playoffs. And then I have the Patriots in second, the Dolphins in third, and the Jets finishing last, like they always do. Another one-team division. I don't think that the Patriots get in. There's been a lot of smoke about the Patriots getting in this year, about how they're, Drake May, Mike Vrabel, the defense is going to be better. They got Diggs, even though I think Diggs is completely washed. I don't think Diggs is any good anymore. And they paid him a lot of fucking money. And I just don't, I see improvements from them. They won 3 games last year. They're going to be better than that. They'll probably win 7, maybe 8 this year, but I don't think they get in the playoffs. I think people are a little too excited about them. I don't think they're there yet. I think maybe next year they could get back into the playoffs if Drake May keeps developing. And I do think Drake May is good, so I do expect that maybe next year. Miami's a shit show. McDaniel is the top candidate for the first coach fired. Probably it's him, maybe Steichen in Indy. And I don't know. I know New Orleans just hired. I think Kellen Moore is the coach. I know they just hired him, but it's New Orleans. I think New Orleans is a complete disaster. They might fire him after 6 weeks, even though they just brought him in. I can't. I can't do it with New Orleans. We'll talk about them later. So I have Ravens at the 1 seed, Bills as the 2 seed. And then in the AFC South, I have the 4 seed. It's going to be the Texans. And once again, a 1 playoff team division, which, you know what that means? That means that I have all 4 AFC West teams making the playoffs, which is ridiculous. It's not going to happen. It's nearly impossible to happen because they all play each other a bunch of times. They're all going to knock each other's records. But I'm picking it to happen anyways because when I looked at the rest of the AFC, I just don't like any of these other teams. I just don't like any of these other teams. I don't like anybody in the AFC South. I don't even really like Houston. It's just there has to be a division winner. And this division is god-awful. Jags finished second, Titans third, Colts last. I've heard a lot of weird playoff buzz about the Colts. Like, are they going to sneak in as the 7? It's like their fucking quarterback is Daniel Jones. No, they're not. He fucking stinks. And if he is better than Anthony Richardson, that says a lot about how bad Anthony Richardson is. That's a disaster. I don't get that smoke. The only team I could see is the Jags. And maybe it's because I'm still a Trevor Lawrence guy. Maybe it's because the owner is the father of the owner of AEW, and I think that's just a fucking hilarious family, and they're fucking so stupid, and it's hilarious. And they got Travis Hunter, and that's going to be fun to watch, see him play both sides. Brian Thomas Jr. is a stud. The Jags are one of those teams that I feel like I can never fully give up the Jags with Trevor Lawrence. I haven't been able to yet. Last year I thought they were going to win the division. They won 4 games. It was just bad. They're the only team that I could see myself convincing myself into picking to make the playoffs. Outside of the Texans. But I don't think they're going to win the division. I think the Texans are good enough to win are clearly the best team in the division. The Jags would have to get in wild card. The AFC West, I have obviously Kansas City is going to win the division. They've won the division for 8 years in a row. Nothing has happened for me to believe that they're not going to win it this year. I know there's a lot of smoke with Denver. Everybody loves Denver. Everybody loves Bo Nix and Sean Payton and the defense they added. Those fucking the guys from the Niners and everybody loves Bonito and but I just there's no. It's the Chiefs. They won 15 games last year. Even if I think it's fluky, it was a fluky 15 wins. They got all the way to the Super Bowl. They got fucking smashed, but they got to the Super Bowl for the third year in a row. It's there's been no signs that they're not going to win the division every single year that they have Patrick Mahomes. So I'm going to pick them to win the division every single year that they have Patrick Mahomes. Because the one time that they don't, it's going to be like, okay, well, I picked them to win 10 years in a row and they won 9 out of 10. I still look way smarter than being the guy who fucking picked the Chargers and the Broncos every year and was wrong. But I went 1 for 9 or 1 and 9, but I got it right the year. It's like, no, you still are fucking dumb. The Chiefs are winning the division. And then I don't have the other 4. I don't have the other 3 in any order. I literally wrote in my notes, undecided, Broncos, Chargers, Raiders, and then 3 X's insinuating that they're all going to make the playoffs. That's how my notes were written. I have a Y next to Baltimore, I have an X next to the Bills, an X next to the Texans, an X next to the Chiefs, and then the 3 X's next to Broncos, Chargers, Raiders, which I'm pretty sure is how they do it at the end of the year. I'm pretty sure the Y gets the number 1 seed, the X's are all playoffs. I think there might be like a division one. There might be like a Z in there somewhere. I don't fucking remember. But I have the Ravens as the 1 seed, the Bills as the 2, the Chiefs as the 3, Buffalo the 4, the Raiders as the 7, and then Broncos, Chargers as 5 and 6. Fucking flip them however you want. I don't care. And then in turn a 2nd and 3rd in the AFC West. The Raiders will be 4th in the West, but I still think they make the playoffs. Which shows how weak I think the AFC is. I don't think the AFC is. I think it's very top heavy. It's obviously got the 3 teams: the Chiefs, Ravens, Bills. The 3 quarterbacks, the 3 dominant teams, good defenses, good support around these great quarterbacks. And then it's like the Texans are kind of mid, and the other wild card teams I feel like are kind of mid. Whereas the NFC, I don't think there's any teams in the NFC except for Philly as good as the Ravens, Bills, and Chiefs. But like the 7th seed in the NFC, let's see who I probably will have as the 7th seed. Ooh, never mind. I'm not going to say those yet because because I think that those are going to be. Yeah, my NFC picks are a little off the wall. Let's just say that they're a little off the wall. But the 7th seed I think is going to be better than probably the 7th seed in the AFC. I think the NFC is deeper, but the AFC is more top heavy. So yeah, AFC West, Chiefs. Probably I don't know. I kind of think I like Harbaugh more than Sean Payton. Culture-wise, Sean Payton obviously has done more winning and has more like of a resume. Quarterback, I don't really like Bo Nix. I don't really think he's that good. I think last year he was fine. He was good, but I think Mac Jones was really good as a rookie too, with like a super genius offensive scheme when he had McDaniels. And then obviously that didn't work out. But I don't think Bo Nix is all that. But I'm also not one of those fucking Justin Herbert guys where there's all these Justin Herbert, like, he's obviously top 5. He's got the most arm talent I've ever seen. He's a perfect quarterback. He's better than Lamar. He's better than, he's so obviously clearly better than Jalen Hurts and Stafford, and I just don't think he is. You can show me these highlights and these crazy throws that he makes, and it's like, yeah, that's all fine. But every single time I've turned on a Chargers game, and it's like been like, all right, they need something here from Herbert. They never get it. and they always show him on the sideline, or they always show him taking his helmet off, and he's always got that fucking look on his face where I don't even know how to describe it. It's like the Mike Tenay face, and I know nobody gets that reference, but it's the Tenay. He's got the fucking Tenay face on. He just looks completely inept. He doesn't look like he cares. He simultaneously looks like he doesn't care, but he's also like about to cry. Like, it's weird. I don't get it. He never comes up for them when they need him to, but then it's always somebody else's fault. He was really bad in the playoff games that he's played in, or at least especially in this most recent one against Houston. But that first one where they blew that huge lead, it was like, my God. And so, yeah. I always love reminding those people that are like those big Justin Herbert guys. I'm like, well, Trevor Lawrence has a playoff win, and your guy doesn't, and that's fun. So I don't know. I still think they're both going to make the playoffs. I'll probably go Denver too, because I actually think Denver's defense is better. That whole Chargers had the best defense in the NFL last year, I think that was fake. I never watched that defense and was like, this is clearly the best defense in the NFL, but the numbers and the stats and all that stuff said that they were. So I just think that Denver's defense is actually better. They have better players, and I'd definitely be more scared of that defense than the Chargers. So I'll take Denver second, Chargers third, Raiders fourth. And so in turn, Chargers or Broncos fifth, Chargers sixth, and Raiders 7 in the AFC playoff. Okay, NFC. NFC East. This is where we already start off a little off the wall, maybe a little controversial. One team division here. The Eagles, and they have an X next to them, so they're not only the only playoff team, but they're not even the number one seed in the NFC. The Eagles, I think, will finish second. The Commanders are second in the standing. The Commanders will finish second in the division, followed by the Giants, and then the Cowboys finishing last. The Commanders not making the playoffs. And here's the reason why. Not because I don't think Jaden Daniels is awesome. Jaden Daniels is great. But I looked at their schedule, and I looked at the Falcons' schedule. Spoiler: the Falcons are getting into the playoffs this year in my rankings. It was down to those two. It was either the Commanders were getting in or Atlanta was getting in. And I picked Atlanta because Atlanta has a much softer schedule, because I think Michael Penix is actually really good. I think they have really talented offensive weapons. Bijan Robinson's one of the best running backs in football. Drake London's a good receiver. I think they still have Darnell Mooney. And then they have whatever is left of Kyle Pitts. And I think the defense should get better this year again. I feel like we do the same thing every year with the Falcons, where it's like, well, if Kyle Pitts is better and if the defense can get a pass rush, it's like they're going to be good. And then every year it doesn't happen. But I think this is the year it happens. And I think it's because Michael Penix is going to be able to really light a fire under this team. I still say that if they would have started Michael Penix 2 weeks earlier last season, he would have got them into the playoffs in the NFC. He almost got them in anyways. But they just wasted so much fucking time with Kirk Cousins' fucking noodle arm. So it didn't work out. The Commanders play a really tough schedule this year, and people don't realize that. I'm pulling it up right now. They play in the NFC East, so that's Philly twice off the bat, Super Bowl champions. They play Philly twice. So this is their schedule. Week 1, Giants. Week 2, Green Bay, now with Micah. Week 3, Raiders, who I have as a playoff team. Week 4, Atlanta, who obviously I have as a playoff team. Week 5, Chargers, playoff team. Week 6, Bears. I don't have them as a playoff team, but they're good. They're fringe. Week 7, Dallas, they stink. Week 8, Kansas City. Week 9, Seattle. Week 10, Detroit. Week 11, Miami, stinks. Week 12, bye. Week 13, Denver. Week 14, Minnesota. Week 15, Giants. And then this is really where they get fucked. Week 16, Eagles. Week 17, Cowboys. Week 18, Eagles. They play the Eagles twice in 3 weeks to end the season, while having to play Detroit, Denver. Okay, I don't know why the fuck it happened that time. I did the thing. Oh, it's because my internet disconnected. All right. Hey, the fucking this is fucked up, man. I've already cut one of these out. I'm probably not gonna cut this one out because now I'm fucking mad. I was just going through the schedule for the Commanders. I was cooking. I promise you, I was cooking, and it fucked me again because my goddamn internet doesn't fucking work anymore, and I'm pissed. They play the Eagles twice in their last 3 weeks, and they have to play fucking Kansas City, Detroit, not Baltimore, Kansas City, Detroit, Denver, the Chargers, the Raiders, the Seahawks, Atlanta, Green Bay. They play a bunch of fucking good teams. That's my point, is that the Commanders play a bunch of fucking good teams, and the Falcons don't. Let me look at the Falcons schedule. They play a bunch of fucking shitty ass teams because they play in a shitty ass division. They play the Panthers twice and they play the Saints twice. That should be 4 wins. Let's see. Yeah. Tampa Bay, Minnesota. Tampa Bay, Minnesota, Carolina. Carolina stinks. Washington, Buffalo. San Francisco, Miami stinks. Patriots, Colts stinks. Panthers stinks still. Saints, awful. Jets, goddamn atrocious. Seahawks, Bucks, Cardinals, not good. Cardinals, not good. Everybody thinks the Cardinals are good. Cardinals are not good. And then they play the Rams and the Saints again. For the amount of good teams, so if I listed Detroit, Kansas City, the Chargers, and Denver, and who else did I list for the fucking Commanders? I don't remember, but there was like 4 or 5. Atlanta has Buffalo and Tampa twice. And that's like kind of it. Those are kind of the only teams that I'm like convinced are going to be actually really good. Everybody else is either middling or maybe a playoff team or dog shit. And quite frankly, they get dog shit 4 times. And as bad as much as the Cowboys are in dismay right now, they're not as dog shit as the Saints and the Panthers. And if the Cowboys and the Giants are the easiest games on the Commanders' schedule, and the Falcons get 4 fucking layups against Carolina and New Orleans, I'm taking Atlanta. I have to keep fucking with my headset now because I don't know how the fuck to get it to not turn off while I'm fucking talking. Because it does this fucking thing where if audio's not playing, it doesn't register the headset as in use. So it fucking just turns off by itself. And now I'm fucking mad. So the Commanders aren't going to make the playoffs. You heard it here first. The Commanders are not going to make the playoffs. Everybody loves them. Everybody sucking Jaden Daniels' dick right now. He's the fucking man. Everybody loves him. Dan Quinn, he's back. He's the fucking guy. Nick Bonit, or not Nick Bonit. Is it Nick Bonit? Which fucking Frankie Louvu's the guy on the Commanders. Everybody loves him. He's a dog, and no, they're going to miss the fucking playoffs. NFC South. Another stunner. This is the division that features my number 1 seed, Tampa Bay. The Bucks are going to be the number 1 seed in the NFC this year. Why? Because it's been a few years since we've had a weird number 1 seed, hasn't it? It's been a few years. And I think we're due. The last couple of years, it's been Baltimore and Kansas City and Buffalo or has Buffalo ever got? I don't think Buffalo ever got it. But and then in the NFC, Detroit and Philly and San Francisco, and we haven't had a weird one yet. We haven't had a 2021 Titans since probably the 2021 Titans. So I think we're due for a weird one, and I think Tampa Bay is the weird one. We know I have the Falcons in as an X. I think they get in due to their schedule, and I think it's because Michael Penix is actually awesome. I hate their jerseys though. I do wish that they had. I wish they still had the Matt Ryan era jerseys, or even just better new ones. Because imagine Michael Penix jersey. Like I want to buy a Michael Penix jersey. I fuck with Michael Penix. UW, my UW guy. But the Atlanta jerseys are fucking so boring and shitty. I don't want to waste $175 or whatever the fuck they want on a boring ass Atlanta jersey. I wish they had one of the Matt Ryan, Julio Jones jerseys for Michael Penix, but no, they fucking had to do the thing that everybody in the NFL does now, where they rebrand and they just make everything block letters because they're fucking boring and gay, and I hate them. And I shouldn't have said gay. I shouldn't have said gay. Shouldn't have said gay as a negative. I'm gonna get canceled now. Point is, Falcons, fix your fucking jersey so I can buy one. The Bucks are the 1 seed in the NFC because Baker Mayfield's a fucking dog. They have a lot of talent. Bucky Irving, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin will be back. They have my guy McMillan from Washington. They drafted another guy, Mecca Egbuka. He's gonna be awesome. Spoiler alert, he's my offensive rookie of the year. Tampa Bay number 1 seed. Falcons probably be the 7 seed. Did I completely skip over? I completely skipped over the NFC North. The NFC North was listed first, but I think I talked about the NFC East first. NFC North, Packers number 1, X. Detroit number 2, X. They're making the playoffs. Bears 3, Vikings 4. Green Bay. I picked Green Bay to win this division last year, and now they have Micah Parsons. So I'm going to pick them to win it again. So they drafted Matthew Golden, got another receiver for Jordan Love. Hopefully that helps that offense out, and hopefully it helps Jordan Love take a step. He got hurt early last year. It was a weird year. I still thought he was good, but I do think he can be better. I think they win the division. I think they finish as probably the 3rd seed. And Detroit, I think obviously they didn't do anything to make me think they're not a playoff team again. And honestly, I just think the Packers got better. I don't think Detroit got worse. I don't think that's not why I'm not picking the Packers to win, because I think less of Detroit. I just think more of the Packers. So I could easily see Detroit repeating as division champs and even as the number 1 seed. But I do think we're in for a weird number 1 seed. That's why I picked Tampa. And the Bears, I don't think the Bears are there yet. I think they need more talent. I don't know if Caleb Williams is any good. I was never as sold on him as everybody else was, or as other people were, in the media and on Twitter. People were saying, I mean, Nick Wright, the fucking big nose fuck he is. I mean, shout out to him. I actually kind of like the show, but the fucking guy had Caleb Williams ranked over Lamar Jackson before Caleb Williams even stepped foot into the NFL, before he even got drafted. He said Caleb Williams was a top 5 quarterback over Lamar Jackson. And yeah, obviously I'm going to hold a fucking grudge about that for the rest of my fucking life, because that's absolutely absurd. That's ridiculous. I cannot believe that anybody would say something so blasphemous. But if it was anybody who was going to say it, it was going to be him, because he fucking hates Lamar Jackson. So fuck him. I know I complimented him, said he has a good show, but fuck him. He's a fucking bitch. Vikings, I don't think J.J. McCarthy is good. I didn't think J.J. McCarthy was good at Michigan. I didn't think J.J. McCarthy was good going into the draft. Sam Darnold was awesome for them last year. For some reason, everybody thinks that that's an upgrade. They're going to be better with J.J. McCarthy than they were with Sam Darnold, the guy who threw for 4,800 yards and like 40 touchdowns and won 14 games. They think they're going to get better by going to a rookie who got hurt last year and didn't play at all for like one. He was good. He had one good preseason drive, and then he fucking blew his knee out. And everybody's like, oh no, he's better than Sam Darnold. All right, yeah, fucking we'll see. I fucking hope so, bud. So they're gonna finish last. They're gonna probably stink. We're gonna be talking about, is Justin Jefferson gonna request a trade by probably mid-December? because they're probably going to only have like 2 wins at that point. NFC West, here we go. This is the division that I know the most about. And I'm sure you're all expecting me to pick a certain team to win. What the fuck? The headphones are talking to me now. I think they're going to die. Rams, NFC West champions again. Not the Seahawks. I'm not picking the Seahawks to win the division. I am picking the Seahawks to make the playoffs, though. They have an X next to their name. The Rams. Why am I picking the Rams to win the division? Let me just be honest with you. Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford. That's it. I don't really trust anything else about their team. I don't even know if I trust Matthew Stafford to not get it. It turned off again. I don't know if I'm cutting that one out or not. Matthew Stafford might get hurt. They might not have him for very long. They might not win the division because of that. But I have the Seahawks finishing second. I think because we won 10 games last year. Sam Darnold, going from Geno to Sam Darnold is at worst, it's a neutral move. At worst, it's no better, no worse. At best, it's an upgrade. I'm not worried about losing DK Metcalf because as I watched him last year, honestly, I don't really care what the numbers say. I don't think he was all that good. JSN was better. Tyler Lockett was clearly washed. It was clearly time to move on. And, you know, is Cooper Kupp going to be as good as DK was? I don't see why not. At least, he might not be as good, but he's not going to be like significantly worse. And Torrey Horton, the rookie, everybody fucking loves that guy. Elijah Arroyo in the draft as well. We have 2 tight ends that I'm like feel good about. AJ Barner in his second year and Elijah Arroyo as a rookie. And Jalen Milroe is probably not going to have to see the field for like 2 years. So Seattle makes the playoffs as probably the 6th seed. Okay, it'll be Bucks 1, Eagles 2, Packers 3, Rams 4, Lions 5, Seattle 6, Falcons 7. That's what I have for the NFC. I gotta go fast now because these headphones are gonna turn off because I can't get them to not turn off because the fucking internet's not working. This is the worst podcast I've ever done. I'm 35. This is the worst podcast I've ever done. I'm sorry. This is terrible. Awards. I think Josh Allen wins MVP again because I don't think he should have won it last year, but I think he's going to win it this year because I think he's going to be better this year than he was last year. And they're not going to give it to Lamar again until he wins the Super Bowl. And I don't think Baker is going to have that good of a year. I don't think Jordan Love's going to have that good of a year. I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to have that good of a year. And Mahomes is probably going to keep, I don't think Mahomes is going to get back to that level because I don't think he's got offensive talent around him to permit him to do that. So I think they gave Josh Allen a sympathy MVP last year. I think Lamar was clearly better and clearly deserved it. But for reasons very clear to me, they didn't give it to him. They wanted to give it to Josh Allen instead, their golden child. And I think he's going to be deserving of it this year. And I think he's going to get it again. And he's going to be, it's going to piss me off still, but fuck it, he's going to win it. Defensive Player of the Year, Kyle Hamilton. I'm leaving here with something, all right? I'm leaving here with something. If I'm the Ravens. Kyle Hamilton, Defensive Player of the Year. He just signed an extension, big contract. He's the fucking man. He's a dog. I fucking love that guy. I still can't believe we got him in the draft. That was a ridiculous fall. I don't know how the fuck we pulled that off. Offensive Player of the Year, I have Bijan Robinson / Ja'Marr Chase, which means when I made my notes, I didn't have a decision. And now I have to make it in a split second. Bijan Robinson, because I think the Falcons are going to make the playoffs, and I don't think the Bengals are going to. Coach of the Year, Matt LaFleur. I think he's been one of the best coaches in football for the last few years. He probably could have won at least one of the last 2, maybe both of the last 2. And now they have Micah, and Micah's a big star and a big name, and everybody's going to pay more attention to them now because they have a big name on their roster. And so I think, yeah, I think he's going to win it. Comeback player of the year, Aiden Hutchinson, pretty obvious. He fucking snapped his leg in half, and he's going to come back and be probably one of the best pass rushers in football after snapping his leg in half. I already said my offensive rookie of the year was Emeka Egbuka of Tampa Bay. Defensive rookie of the year, Abdul Carter from the Giants, because pass rushers, can clean up all these defensive awards. And if I'm being honest, I wanted to do much. In my head, this was going to be like an hour and a half, 2-hour podcast. But I'm fucking mad because this internet. I'm mad because these headphones are fucking stupid. And I don't know what else to say. I don't want to just repeat myself for a half an hour because I'm mad. I'm also fucking sick. I work a shitty job at Walmart, and I fucking hate my life. So please, like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, let me know your thoughts, what you think is going to happen. Call me a fucking moron for my picks. I don't care. Agree with them if you want, because, they're right. They're going to be right. This is what's going to happen. I spoiled it for you all. I have the scripts. This is what's going to happen. I mean, I didn't pick the Super Bowl. Obviously, I'm picking the Ravens to win the Super Bowl. Ravens over Lions in the Super Bowl. The Lions will get to the Super Bowl as a wild card team. Fuck it. No, that's dumb. They're a dome team. They're going to have to go on the road. Ravens over Packers. Ravens over Packers. I think I picked that last year. And I think I'm picking it again. Damn. No, that's fucked up. I can't do that. Chris Broussard picked that last year, and then Chris Broussard picked that again this year, and I picked it last year, and I'm picking it again this year. Now it looks like I'm just copying Chris Broussard. I'm not. I promise you, these are original thoughts in my head. I'm not copying Chris Broussard, okay? Shout out to Chris Broussard, but I'm not doing that. I'm picking the Ravens over the Packers in the Super Bowl. The Ravens are going to get the number 1 seed in the second round, in the divisional round of the playoffs. We're going to get the Texans. We're going to beat the fuck out of them. And then it's going to look like 2023. We're going to beat the Texans in the second round after getting a bye. We're going to host the AFC title game against either Kansas City or Buffalo, and we're going to fucking win it this time. Zay Flowers is not going to fumble at the 1-yard line. They're not going to ignore pass interference. They're going to call the pass interference this time. I promise. It's going to work. We don't have Justin Tucker anymore to get bullied by Travis Kelce. Tyler Loop ain't going for that shit, cuh. I'm telling you. And if it doesn't happen that way, I'm going to fucking blow my brains out, alright? That's it!